Hello everyone, this is Mike with the ShadowTrader Stock and Options Room. I have here today the weekly chart of the Bitcoin futures, the continuous contract. I'm focused on this today because of what took place. Now, this is the long-term support level that runs right through here, and we didn't quite, when we got to it today, we didn't push into it and test it very hard, and so that's possibly unfinished yet. I'm going to leave that caveat there. But sometimes when a market comes in near like that and retraces out of there quite quickly, which is what happened today, it's a consideration that that may have been it. And I do want to present that as a possibility here. Now I'm going to go to a daily chart, and you can see here that on the daily chart that we had a pretty decent volume day. It's not extravagant. I mean, we've got high volume days that have happened in the past here, so it's not too much out of character, but we did move back up and conclude higher after testing lower into that zone today on relatively decent volume, certainly above average. So I'm going to take that at face value and assume that it's possible for this to have just made its low. Now, tomorrow will be important, of course, in the days to come to find out if that's actually true. But the other thing that's going on here is if I pull over the Bitcoin US dollar chart, we have this level running right through, and we can see pretty much the same thing. It didn't quite make it, but rejected up and out pretty hard. Let's look at the daily candle on this one. I like to see agreement in these two charts. I like to come over to the Bitcoin US dollar chart and confirm what I'm seeing over in the future side, because this is the one, of course, that trades 24 hours, and I consider it to be a little bit more reliable on the charting side of things because of that. So I take this chart seriously. Yes, we didn't make it here quite down to that low. So I'm just noting that, but it's a pretty bullish turnaround, at least for right now. And it's close enough here that a trade could be taken with a low-risk setup, possibly here even, depending on your parameters here, with a stop down here, since it's already moved up. I don't necessarily, depending on, again, your parameters, it's not necessarily chasing it, but things have been moving pretty violently today, and so it's pretty much hard to do anything really safely. But so this is what it is. The other thing that I'm very curious about is at the same time, and here's a trade that I took today, when I look at the Ethereum chart on a weekly scale, I also see that we came right into a weekly support area that runs right through here, a little out of line movement there, but runs through here, and other than right here, it's pretty well respected, but certainly confirmed right here. We've also done a rejection right here on the weekly scale, and let's check the volume for the day. Nice high volume, and in this case the volume is a little bit more impressive looking as you compare it to the average, other than this one right here. So once again we have another chart that looks like it could be reversing. That being said, how do you play it? Well, in this chart here, Ethereum is also playing right around the $1,500 round number. I'm not saying that that's a big deal. I'm just noting it because I happen to just notice those types of things. So I took a trade here with a very low risk. I came over here to the ETHU and bought some shares of the ETHU here at 119. And it's right in, right out. I've got a, well, not right out. I gave it some room and put a stop down at 90. And if this moves up, I'll move the stop up probably fairly quickly. I'm curious, though, is to see what happens with these weekly lows. And to me, it was worth a crack at it here. If we do get some type of resolution to the tariff uncertainties, we could get a rising tide effect here as well. But certainly those daily candles on both Bitcoin and Ethereum are giving us the potential heads up that something has changed. And so I'm going to take that at face value. Thought I would share that with you, and hopefully you find that beneficial. So until next time, anyway, again, this is Mike from the ShadowTrader Stock and Options Room. I moderate 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 noon Eastern, and I'd like to invite you to join me there and work on some charts together, search for some trades, and listen to some good dialogue. I hope, anyway. I try to make the time beneficial and worth your time to explain how I approach the markets as a swing trader. So until then, I hope to see you in the room, and I wish you good trading, and take care out there, because it's a little rough these days.